What's good, everyone? Welcome into another episode of the Power 2 podcast, where we are here to talk about the power of America's infrastructure, because it fucking sucks. Jesus Christ. This is, you know, we're putting
really
the we're
bad.
putting
It
the
is really
two
bad.
we're putting the 2 in Power 2 because this is our second attempt because my internet's not working. So you know, we're gonna do the best that we can. Welcome to the new Power 2 podcast, where we are joined, me and DJ, who are always here, by Dante, because I overdid it. I thought that I was someone that I wasn't. I thought that I could do 2 podcasts and a PhD program, and 2 weeks into the season, I've learned that I cannot.
That's not
So
No.
one podcast
I'm
it
going to
is.
say something, though. You are a great example for a friend of mine who was trying to go get their PhD and have a child. And I was like, well, no. You're not going to do
You
both.
know,
Yeah.
we all try. We all think that we are somebody that we're not, and that's okay. We're here now.
It's
Me
the
and Dante
attempt
are
that
happy to
counts.
do this because
Yes.
you're trying to be a doctor. Like,
I
was just like, he really thinks he's about to do 2 shows. I can't wait to see how long that's going to go. And then when we did the first 3-man weave, and you were like, yeah, maybe we should do this. Well, we'll wait till after the season. It is week 2, and we are doing this. So we tried.
Yep.
We tried.
and barely made
okay.
it 2 weeks because me and Dante didn't record last week.
Exactly.
Didn't like.
And
both
then me and
shows
Jordan
have missed-
recorded last week, and I was dying on air.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
on my deathbed. It was not well. Also, I would just like to point out that I feel extremely left out because I do not have glasses and a do-rag on. I did not get the memo
Well.
that we were wearing glasses and do-rags. So
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
you
find some
knew
fucking
we wore
glasses. Yeah, like
I,
find some
well,
glasses.
I
I
don't.
can't-
Okay, you know what? I got you.
Like, you know we wear glasses.
Yeah, I
the
don't-
do-rag thing should have been an assumption. We're black men that just woke up. You should have known
See now.
we were
now
going to
we-
have do-rags on.
Yeah,
Now
and I
I've
need
got
a
the glasses.
haircut.
Here
So
we go.
boom. The
Also,
power
yes.
of the
I
power
also
of
need a
good
haircut,
vision.
if you can't tell.
Of
The power of good vision and clippers. Okay.
Yeah. So,
Man.
because this is our second attempt and we all have things to do, like read 90 extra fucking pages because my professor hates me. Let's get into the show.
That is not what we have to
Speaking
do. I'm
of
not
hate-
gonna.
Well, no, I have
Me
to.
and
do
Dante
that.
are like, we
You
will
have
not be
to-
reading 90 pages.
And yeah, no. You have to announce, and I don't
No.
remember what Dante said he had to do, but
We are Twitch
yeah.
streamers, ladies and gentlemen. We have things to stream.
And I haven't streamed,
I-
I've only streamed once this month.
I
so-
haven't streamed in a month too. That's why I'm like, everybody's gonna think I died. Like, hello. Anyway, I'm sorry. But getting to the news. Speaking of things that we hate,
Yes, Kirk
that what you
Ferentz.
Yeah, that's what he said.
Kirk Ferentz. Kirk Ferentz passed Woody Hayes all-time wins at a Big Ten program, and I would just like to say it doesn't matter. We all know why it doesn't matter because we tried to do
Funny
this
you're the
already,
second
but
time.
it doesn't matter because he has been mediocre his entire career. Woody Hayes has 205 wins at Ohio State, but he also has 5 national championships and 13 Big Ten titles. Let's test our memory here, and you know we'll give a second of open space for the people listening. Who remembers how many Big Ten titles Kirk Ferentz has in his 26 years at Iowa?
Oh.
when you say it like that,
Oh.
Yeah.
That's a long time. And
Yeah.
I remember the number. And wow.
The numbers
I'm
too.
not a Big Ten expert.
It's 2.
The numbers too, and they
Dose?
also happened before.
As in
yeah,
this
the
many?
numbers too.
Mhm.
Yeah, and they both happened before 2005. So
They
Well, shout
happened
out to him for
before,
having the most wins
before
anyway.
Obama was in office.
Oh my
Yep.
God, not pre-Obama.
yeah,
Back when the
Then
racists were
pre-Obama.
quiet about it. Oh,
yeah. They're George
From the
Bush, era wins.
administration.
Like we. So it's like, yeah, congrats.
George
for,
Bush
you
era
know,
wins is crazy.
Man, he won a national championship during flip-flop era. Like, it's
He
not
didn't even.
national,
But that's the
Big Ten.
thing. He didn't even win a national
Big Ten,
championship.
Big
Those
Ten,
just
yeah.
the 26 years, and he doesn't have a national championship. Never played for a national
just had the
championship.
flip-
106 in
area-
Park was
era.
still dope.
He just
Yeah,
had home phones at the time.
you know, flip phones.
caller ID on the television.
Did we have?
Wait, no, that's the Obama administration.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
No, they didn't even have sidekicks yet.
No, there were no sidekicks.
Oh,
it was
God,
razors. I think
no.
still. I think it was still razors.
Yeah,
at the time.
no, we didn't, you remember them like cheap like slide phones that everybody had? It was black.
Yeah.
That like every teenager had. They didn't even have them. The phone, your phone didn't slide yet. If you slid your phone,
you didn't
it
have
was
slidable
broke.
phones. It was just a flip.
Oh,
Yeah,
crazy.
it was just a flip phone. Then when the slidable phones came out, everybody had them. Remember the chocolate?
Genie from them.
Y'all remember the
Oh, my
chocolate? I think it was
goodness. I do
Sprint that came
remember
out with
the
that phone.
chocolate.
Oh my gosh, I wanted a chocolate so bad. It was like the first round of phones beside the razors that was like colored. Anyways,
Hey,
we're
Them
millennials.
and the
Anyway.
he hasn't won the Big Ten since before the iPhone came out.
Mm-hmm. The
Wait, because the iPhone was
iPod.
what, 2004?
No, the
right?
iPhone's 2007.
Mm-mm. 7, yeah.
2007?
I think the iPod Nano was not Nano, but like the little, the little iPod
one
one
with
that
just
you
the
could
buttons.
clip.
Yes.
Yeah, that.
Man, what an
that
era. We were
might have
really
been
walking
out.
around.
That might have been out. The Walkman was a thing though.
The
Still.
Walkman.
Yeah.
Well, that was the modern day Walkman. Was the
Yeah.
iPod Nano? They need to bring
I'm
back
trying to think
iPods.
what was
They
out.
really
What
do.
was-
So wait,
They need
the
to bring
one
back
that you can
iPods.
clip is the Nano, right?
Michael Jordan.
So the one that you can clip came out in 2005. So no, because his last one was
The players were
2003.
on the field. They weren't
He
even on the
had-
field with their Nanos
Yeah,
yet.
it was the iPod Mini, iPod Photo, and iPod 4G. That's it. You couldn't even clip it.
The iPod Photo.
couldn't even
the
clip it.
iPod
Yeah.
Photo.
Yeah.
I don't even know. What
I
that
don't
is.
remember either.
I don't
It was
even
like
know what that is.
The iPod Photo was basically like, it was like an iPhone, but you didn't have like cell service on it. So it was like it literally did everything. You could download apps that had the touch screen, everything. You just couldn't call or text on it. Well, you
Text
could
on
text on it if you had like.
So it was the
like,
beginning of the
WhatsApp or whatever.
iPhone.
It was when the iPhone and the iPod were still fully separate products.
Well, the
And
iPhone
then I
hadn't
think they
come
called
out.
it the iPod.
The iPod didn't come out. The iPod Photo came out 3 years before the first iPhone.
Before the iPhone. Yeah. And then they had the iPod Touch, which was
TVs had backs on them.
Yeah, you could
yo
you could
TVs.
get the VCR DVD combo because not everybody had a DVD player back then.
Had the DVDs?
You still had to
gosh.
rewind after you watched. Yeah, like
Oh my
Hold on,
gosh.
hold on, hold on,
Blu-ray
hold on.
was just becoming
The
Blockbuster
PlayStation
was still in
2.
business.
The PlayStation 2 was probably only 4 years old.
oh, that's
Y'all,
nasty.
okay, so
That's
basically,
nasty.
the point is,
Yeah,
basically the point is a really mediocre ass coach won a lot of games, but who cares because he didn't win any natties.
yes, or Big Ten champions because not everyone wins a natty. But come on,
And
you've been in the Big Ten for 26 years. You've won 2 of them. Get the fuck out of here.
But here's the thing, and I'm not even trying to be funny.
The Browns.
They're
were
going up against
probably
Michigan
just in
and
their
and Ohio State all the goddamn time. Like, we have to also be serious.
Wisconsin.
We have to
Yeah.
also be serious.
Yeah,
Like, not even to defend, who is this? What's his name? Because I don't know. Not even to defend Kirk, whatever his name is. But like,
Wisconsin
a
has
stacked
won,
conference.
Wisconsin has won the Big Ten outright.
never mind.
So
So, anyways, moving on to the next piece of news because
I was gonna say
Yeah.
Wisconsin has a couple years of dominance, or at least close to dominance in that run
Well-
in his era.
and he let it. He
I
let
tried
it
to help
happen.
you, Kirk. I don't
Loser
know.
ass coach.
I tried to help. I gave it my best shot. You sorry. The last time you won phones had buttons. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
You
So
had to hit him a bunch of times to text.
no, for real.
He said we were doing T9.
Hey, bro, that shit was so long ago. You were terrified if you accidentally hit the internet button. That shit froze your phone for 30 minutes, and you had a bill.
And there was a bill. And then especially
Call
'cause
me after 9.
No,
after
bro.
9 p.m.
literally, he was trying to recruit, and there's like, hey, coach, I can't talk till after 9. Can you
Call me after 9. Sorry.
Can you call my
Like,
home
I
phone or
remember
call me
when
after
it
9?
turned
Yes.
when they was like, yeah, now it's 7. We like,
What?
what?
Oh, when they brought it up to 7, the cupcaking on the phone immediately increased after that. Because all of us were in middle school, obviously at this time. If you guys are unaware of what we're talking about because you're so freaking
That's
young,
still
and
the
you've never
Obama
experienced these
administration.
trenches, there was a time where you had to pay for the minutes on your cell phone.
Mm-hmm.
Not like pay for the 5G. No, we were paying for minutes
Yep.
to use on our cell phone. And so
And
when
text
you were
messages
not.
cost more than talking minutes.
Yep.
Oh my gosh! Remember when you used to be afraid to send a text? I was afraid to send a text. Like,
Yeah.
if I accidentally opened a texting little section, I'd be like,
You
because I didn't know how much it
tell people,
cost.
stop texting me. Don't respond.
Yes, because
there was
you would pay
occasion
per
where
text.
you had to send a message and you was like, don't respond. Like don't. I don't got the money for this.
Okay,
like,
just
yeah,
that's all. Actually,
Call me if
call me
anything.
after 9.
right. No,
Like,
no, for real.
don't respond.
So we're gonna
What a time. Oh
skip
my gosh.
the next piece of news for the sake of time, because by the
Yeah,
time
we
we
don't
record next week, there's probably gonna be more about it. So it's fine.
More.
So
Yeah.
let's
Just know Kawhi Leonard is getting paid to do nothing. Next.
yes, let's
pretty much.
let's go to our power sweep segment. For the uninitiated, our power sweep segment is where we go through the games that just happened. And so the first game that I want to go through just briefly, because there wasn't a whole lot to learn about it, was Houston, Colorado. Half the reason this is on the list is because Deion should have been publicly shamed for calling his white quarterback Martin Luther Staub. That is not what we should be doing.
Gosh.
But also I wanted to put this on here because I don't want to say that I was high on Houston, but I thought that they would have a decent year. I remember talking about them and the
Yeah.
and
I
our
think they are
preview
bound to have a
because
pretty decent year. Yeah.
yeah, and a lot of people didn't
They're
think
3-0.
so. Yeah, and a lot of people didn't think so. A lot of people were like talking trash about the quarterback, Connor Wegman. But the thing with him is it's just like, yes, you weren't great at Texas A&M, but now you're going down a level, so you have a chance to be better. Like some quarterbacks, like you can still be good if you go down a level. Colorado is doing their own version of a 3-man weave because Deion won't pick a quarterback. And so I just thought it was an interesting game. Houston came out on top. I did, and I don't want to hate on Martin Luther Staub. He showed some things where I see why they like him, and he made some plays. He got out of some pressure because their offensive line is still awful. But ultimately, anyone, and this is not even a crap on Deion. Like, we knew this was going to happen, right? I think Deion is safely a better coach than many people expected, but he still has an uphill battle. Colorado's not going to be good this year. Hopefully, I just hope that, because I don't like that he keeps switching out the quarterback. It reminds me of things that he's done. He's just not patient. And I think that sort of comes with the Hall of Fame thing. When you were always good, you just expect people to be good.
Yeah, you just, exactly.
And
yeah.
so I hope
especially at D1 football, you're like, hello,
Right.
like, why aren't you amazing?
And I think it also goes with just like Deion, I think is a pretty solid culture builder. Like his team, his players love him. They always play hard, like that sort of stuff, right? He's an older black man, so he's a heavy disciplinarian. Like his teams sort of show up. But I think that as also being a Hall of Fame player who could wake up and play 3 sports, I don't think he's the best teacher all the time. And so like the lack of patience and the
you
lack of
can't be
teaching,
when you're that good.
yeah, it sort of shows up sometimes. So the one thing that I hope for Colorado, because I don't think they're going to be that good this year, is that they stick with the quarterback so that they can grow for next year. And he doesn't keep like throwing his players under the bus.
Because my thing was, my biggest concern when it came to Colorado and Deion coaching was, I said this before, if he could develop talent. How many Colorado players went into the draft this past year besides those 2?
Shiloh.
I think it was
Shiloh. So 3 players were drafted.
And
how
it
many
was
probably were
so
eligible?
Shiloh wasn't
don't know.
drafted. I think he was undrafted. But
That's
He
what-
went
that's
undrafted,
what-
but he was
yeah.
in the draft. Yeah.
yeah, the wide
I mean, it's like, how many
receiver-
drafted players did they have? 2, right? 2
the
or 3?
the wide receiver,
I don't know.
the Horn Jr. or something.
other one.
wide receiver.
Yeah,
It was
yeah,
either the
one.
other wide receiver or the other corner. One of them was drafted because they play on special teams.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying. Like, it's the development of talent portion that concerns me, because you were so great. That is usually a hard thing to be able to coach.
Yes.
And the other part about that is that having the humility to bring in someone who can.
And not
If
just
you
bringing in
can't
your
develop,
friends.
you should you should bring in
Yeah.
someone who has the talent to develop talent when you aren't bringing in the top 1 talent, because you're not going to do it at Colorado. It doesn't matter if your name is Deion. They not
He's
really
gonna bring in
go
like
there for-
mid-level though.
Yeah, but you're not gonna get a top 5 recruiting class.
No, of course
No.
not. No, of course not.
Yeah.
And
And
of
my-
course, and it's hard too because he was coaching his kid for the first 2 years at first 2 years there, and then he also
He's
had a
been coaching
generational
his
talent.
kids since he's been coaching.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm saying like coaching at Colorado, and then I'm saying like, and then he had Travis Hunter, a generational talent. So it's like you're this year is going to be the year where you're actually going to be able to gauge like what, and to your point,
type
if
of
he
type of
can
coach
develop
is
and
he?
what kind of coach he's going to be. If we're being honest, it already gives that he's going to be the type of coach he's not going to mince words when he's in the press. He's trying to build a culture around them being professionals, around them being, because like I see a lot of videos of him telling them like, don't wear slides to class, don't, like he wants to build a culture, which I think he'll be able to do.
That would actually make me mad as hell.
Yeah,
I was
think-
screaming.
That would piss me off.
He's
think
like,
that's
you need to
dumb.
look good, you need to sit in the front, you need to do your shit.
I think there's a bit too far when it comes to stuff like that. I
Yeah.
understand his messaging, but then at the same time, because like
It's really
when you
heavily
go,
respectability.
I think it's because
politics.
I've been in.
It,
Yeah,
oh,
'cause
it
I've
is
been out in the
absolutely
world.
respectability politics.
Like for someone who's been out in the world and been in corporate world too, the lack of seriousness there is, how people try to portray it is.
Low level
It's just like it's.
But here's the
it
thing,
gets a
and
bit
I'm
of
just gonna
annoying.
keep it real. Yes, there's levels of respectability politics to it, but also we have to be serious about the fact that athletes do get looked at as less than. They do get looked at as like they're not as smart.
Yeah,
or
but
they're
how
not as
does
this or they're not
how
as
does
that
wearing
because they're
slides to
athletes.
class change that?
No, it doesn't change that. What I'm saying is I think that Deion's bigger message is more about like taking pride in the way that you are presenting yourself. I think it has less to do with like the actual like mechanics of everything and more about he's trying to get them to understand that you're going to be judged harsher, unfortunately, as an athlete and as a Black student. So the least you can do is kind of present yourself in a way where you seem serious about your education, because most athletes get written off as they're not that serious. They're just there to play the sport. They're just whatever. So look like you give a fuck about more than just football.
But the thing with that is like, all right, that's doing the most, is that your peers are going to dress as lazy as they possibly, like most of your your classmates are going to dress lazier than you.
Yeah.
They're going to come in pajamas, bonnets. I've seen it. So
Yeah,
that's why it's like
pajamas
stuff,
and bonnets.
I think, yeah.
I agree. I feel you.
I see, and I know, we all understand both sides of it. I get what he's doing. I don't like it. I think there are better ways to
truly
teach
get
that
it, yeah.
message, but he's a 50-year-old
Yeah.
Black man, and that's what he knows. So it's just like, but it's also
and that's the other thing, too.
hilarious because like he didn't do that when he played, but okay.
But here's the thing.
But
critical as hell.
But also,
Critical as
he didn't do
hell.
that because he played, and this is like not even me trying to be funny. He didn't do that when he played because he was Deion Sanders. He knew where the hell he was going. Half of them niggas in there are not going where he went. I'm sorry.
I think,
Half of them niggas are not going where he went.
Yeah, I think
Like-
so. Like, and we can move off of this. I just think, for me, I think it's
Yeah.
I think it's just discipline for discipline's sake, and I think there's a way to teach that, like making sure that they all have a suit and they know how to wear a tie and they know when it's appropriate to do certain things.
Yeah.
Like, I think the lesson should be more appropriate. Like, if you go to class in slides, it doesn't matter. But when you're I understand rules in the practice facility for certain things. I understand rules and like, let's have a conversation. This is how you dress for an interview. Let's practice. Let's have interview prep. Let's do these things so you understand like the time and the place for things. Because to Dante's point, and again, we all get this, the more prestigious place that I worked, the more lax it was. I don't like saying where I
These
worked
people
on
they don't
this
give a
thing,
fuck.
but like my last job was I had someone tell me I couldn't wear sneakers on Fridays, and I worked with like Black and brown kids, and half the times I was able to talk to them because they would see my tattoos and my sneakers, and we could connect on that, and then I could be like, so how are your classes? And they're like, you can only wear sneakers on Friday. Bruh, I swear to God, and I would never do it because you're not going to get me fired. Last summer, I was in the office and I was talking about how hot it was, and the associate dean walked by in shorts talking about, you can wear shorts, right? The devil is a lie. As a Black man, I'm not wearing.
You can wear shorts.
But
I
it's the
cannot.
fact that my director's boss, like the associate dean, is walking around in shorts and was like, you can wear shorts. We know it's hot outside. Like, it's a time and a place thing, because you get to these big corporate places, you start making money, you do these things, and they really just don't care. It's about the work. So But we don't.
And I don't even think it's about corporate, because I think we're finally straying away at a certain point. I think we're finally at the point where we're straying away from like corporate being like the ideal place to be. I feel like our generation, we grew up thinking that if we all go to corporate, we're all gonna like make it and everything's gonna be fine and we're gonna live and there's gonna be rainbows and sunshine and everything's gonna be great. I think now it's less about that, but I see both of y'all's points. What I was more so getting at is that this is the first time that Deion Sanders, as far as we know, has had to actually have a QB like conversation and competition and figure out who the QB is going to be. And to Dante's point, his patience is very low. And I think that has a lot to do with the fact that he never had to be developed. So how can you develop other people when you never had to be developed?
You never had to, and you don't know what it's like. Like
exactly.
And you also don't really...
You don't know what the process is. You don't know how to motivate people in that way.
Yeah.
You don't know. And that's really not his fault.
You only know how to do self-motivation.
Exactly.
Because he didn't even know how to do it with...
he
didn't even know how to do it with his kids.
His own kid. Exactly.
His kids were varying levels of athlete, but none of them were him. Like, I truly believe, and this is a lot.
Because if he could, if he really could, Shiloh would have been drafted.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean,
Shiloh
and then Shiloh punched somebody in the freaking off season, and now he's not on the team.
Somebody punched him first, and then he punched him back. Okay. Let's be very clear. Somebody punched him first, and then he punched him back.
It's always, but everyone in sports knows it's always the second person that gets caught.
It's always the second person. But it's like, when it's that obvious, you would think that there would be more of a conversation. But also, at the end of the day, I think they wanted a reason to waive him. They didn't want him on the roster.
I don't know if he was. I think he was probably going to get waived anyway. But next game, Alabama-Wisconsin. Alabama beats Wisconsin 38-14. This is on here for two reasons. One, this is a good bounce back for Alabama. I don't want to just like pretend that beating Wisconsin is nothing. I feel like a lot of people are going to do that. But the more important, there are two sort of things to take away from this. One, Ty Simpson had himself a game. That is the quarterback.
Oh my God.
That is Ty for Tyler, not Ty for Tyrone. I know we're all still confused. He's white.
Wait, what do you mean?
He's white.
Yeah.
Of course, Alabama's quarterback is white.
No, the last.
Don't say that.
The overwhelming majority of their quarterbacks, they're like Ohio State. All their best quarterbacks are black.
Well, yeah, because black people are better athletes than white people, hands down, for the rest of our lives.
But you can't say, of course, when the last four quarterbacks they've had have been black.
That if they have the opportunity, I'm saying if they have the chance to have a white quarterback, they're going to take it. Is what I'm saying.
But we're not talking. But here's the thing: we're not even, and that's also not true, because they ran away two white quarterbacks for a running back, and both of the quarterbacks they ran away are better. Eli Holstein at Pitt and Dylan Lonergan. They ran away three white quarterbacks because Julian Sayin is at Ohio State.
But I don't know.
Listen,
but it's not.
I don't know.
It's not.
I'm not an Alabama historian. I choose not to know Alabama's history on purpose.
But DJ, it's not about Alabama having a white quarterback. It's about a white quarterback being named Ty Simpson.
That's a very normal name.
If you're black,
that's a very uniracial name.
Okay,
that's a very uniracial name.
You're
that's
literally
a
the only person who's ever said that. Ty Simpson.
Every person so many white people like last name is Simpson.
Right? No, I know a few Tylers who go by Ty.
And I also know a few Tylers that go by Ty, both white and black, and Latino.
I've never met a Ty.
That last one,
black.
I'm
in Texas.
Okay, see, and he's from the South, so this is more normal for you, because I also think he's from the. I personally have never met a Ty that wasn't black, and it was always Tyrone or something like that.
Who's from the South?
No, Ty Simpson's
from the Midwest.
Ty Simpson's from the South. But regardless,
do y'all consider yourselves
Midwest?
Like
you're from Florida.
Y'all are not the Midwest, are y'all?
Yes.
Ohio's the Midwest.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyways,
I just made that up because y'all know I don't really know where Ohio is on a map.
Ty Simpson went 24. Ty Simpson went.
Open the schools.
I don't know American geography, but also I don't really know the world geography either. Like it missed me.
That's very girl. American of you.
I was a math girl. Like I can do the Pythagorean theorem. I can give you a little cosine. You know, I can give you a little bit of that. I can do a little trigonometry. Bitch, don't ask me where the UK is. I don't know. It's in Europe. I don't know. Like, I'm sorry. Don't
I
give
got
me a map of
California,
Africa
Texas,
and tell me to name
Florida,
all the
and New
countries.
York. That's
I
all I
don't know.
got. That's all I got.
I don't know. I know where
I
Zaire
might
is,
give
and
you
I know where the.
Hawaii too. That's
I'm
all
like,
I
you
got.
know where
Don't give me the
Zaire-
African continent.
Of all
I know
the
where
African,
Zaire is.
of all the African countries, why do you know where Zaire is?
Because I had a friend named Zaire. And he knew where it was.
That is,
Oh my God.
that is-
Okay.
I'm sorry. That's an obscure African country to be able to play.
It
At this
is.
point, at this point, you should know every country in Africa.
know.
You
I
should know every
I know
country in
I
Africa.
know where Congo is, and Ghana, and
Those-
Nigeria, and those places. Like,
Those ones
I
make
know,
more
like, West
sense.
Africa.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Okay, I'm sorry. Anyways, I'm sorry. Anyways, Ty Simpson sounds like a uniracial name to me personally,
Listen,
from my perspective of being
every-
a Southern person.
Every
Yeah.
person that I've talked to, except for you, thought he was black. Be off of his name. So I don't know.
I guess, and my
Maybe-
problem is I just also go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah. Either way, Ty
I
Simpson.
probably would assume that as well, but I do know some ties.
Okay,
that are
that's fair.
Caucasian.
So yeah, Ty, he went 24 for 29 for 382 yards and 4 touchdowns. The most impressive thing
Period.
about this is there were at least 2 drops. One of them by their best, actually, I think 2 of them by their best wide receiver. He drops a lot of balls. But one of them was a easy touchdown. So he could have been 26 for 29 for 400 yards or close to 400 yards and 5 touchdowns. He was absolutely balling. We've talked, and we're going to do this in a week or two. Either like 4 weeks in or 6 weeks in. I want to go back and look at the young quarterbacks that we talked about.
And see how they're doing.
Gunnar
Yeah.
Stockton, Julian Sayin, Dante Moore, and kind of look to see where they're at. But as a young quarterback he's not young in age. I think he's in his 3rd or 4th year, but as a first-year starter, he's showing himself to be a guy. Wisconsin's defense not the best, but not anyone can go 24 of 29 with multiple drops, 4 touchdowns. The biggest concern...
Another factoid to add to that before you get to your concerns is that he became the first quarterback since Mac Jones as the only quarterback in school history to complete at least 80% of his passes and throw 3 touchdowns in consecutive games. So
Hooping.
there you
Hooping.
go.
So,
Not hooping.
but the concern for Alabama. So watching this game, I was like, okay. Seeing the rest of the SEC, I still feel like I may be right that Alabama's going to make the playoffs. I don't think they're going to go far or be good or whatever. And then I look at the stats. They had 72 total rushing yards, and he also led the team in rushing at 25. So there are definitely still concerns for Alabama's team. Alabama should be able to run the ball. They should especially be able to run the ball on Wisconsin. Their starting running back went 7 carries for 20 yards. So not ideal.
They didn't run the ball much.
They ran the ball 22
They were
times.
throwing the ball. They threw the ball 30.
Yeah, but like
well,
22 for 72 is bad. For Alabama, for anybody.
Yeah.
But
And I want to say, like, it was the
anybody.
quarterbacks rushing, were they scramble rushing yards or design runs? Like,
was
there's that.
well, so the thing, his rushing, I believe, was scrambles. But again, your quarterback who's running to save his life shouldn't lead the team in rushing. Like your starting running back
Yeah.
shouldn't have 20 rushing yards in a 60-minute game.
20 total.
I think Alabama's going in a different state. I don't think they're going to have that rushing be their identity anymore, especially since that was one thing that a lot of fans wanted Nick Saban to kind of get away from, since what football has become. It's a more passing league, especially in college. So I think that's where they're going with it. I would say I was pleasantly surprised at how they were stopping the run on in certain moments. I didn't watch the whole game because I had Oregon and Northwestern sound in my ears, so I was paying attention mostly to that game. But from what I was seeing, they were stopping the run, which was something that concerned me last year a lot. So
Period.
Yeah.
I'll give them that.
So I'm more concerned about the running game than Dante is. I was very impressed with the passing game. I do think their defense is still good. This is very clearly not a dominant team. They're probably going to lose another game. Today, I'm going to predict them to beat Georgia. And everyone is like super high on Georgia because they beat Tennessee. We're going to talk about that in a minute. But, okay, next game.
They almost didn't.
Ding!
They almost didn't. Let's get to it, actually.
They almost
Can
didn't.
we?
Well,
Because
they almost
hold
that
on,
game,
hold on. Well,
they almost didn't.
Yeah,
We
well,
can get
we're
to-
gonna
we
get
could just
to
switch
we're
to
gonna
YouTube.
get to that game, but before we get to that game, ding dong, the witch is dead.
You know what? Yesterday was a good day. Let me tell you why the fuck yesterday was a
Yo,
good day.
I saw
Yesterday
that.
was a good day because you guys, we are one loss away from not having to talk about Clemson anymore.
Mhm.
And I am
I saw that score. and was
thrilled
like,
about it. I am
Yes.
thrilled about it. We are
Yes.
one loss away from not
And
having
the-
to fucking talk about Clemson because, as y'all know, I have beef with them personally.
And the only reason we're one loss,
I'm glad about it.
the only reason we're one loss away instead of being there entirely is because technically they can still win the ACC and get into the playoffs, but they're going to lose another
Exactly.
ACC game, and then they're done for.
oh, yeah,
Georgia Tech-
they're not because they still have to go against. Hold on.
SMU.
Well, let's see.
Florida
Let's look at their schedule, shall we?
They have to play South
SMU.
They
Carolina.
have to go against. Yep.
Oh,
They have to
losing-
play
they might
against-
lose 2 more ACC games.
Okay, let's see. They have to play there's Syracuse, North Carolina, Boston College, SMU, Duke, Florida State, Louisville,
Duke,
Furman,
Boston
and South
College.
Carolina.
So there's
So-
there's like 4 of those teams that I think they could lose to.
Yeah,
that they
Florida
just need
State,
to.
Duke, Boston College, SMU could all beat them in the ACC. I don't think they lose
We
all
could
4, but they lose 1 or
100% beat them.
2, and then
They losing
South
2.
Carolina at the
They're
end.
losing 2.
South
Mhm.
Carolina
This is-
as the season closer.
This
Ooh,
is
in the mix at South Carolina. I can make sure you do nothing. I can make sure your season sucks. Oh, they might lose that game.
Yes. And
This is a-
that's
this
an
is an
away game
8-4
for them, I
team.
believe.
this is an
I think
8-4 team at
Mhm.
best.
I think that's an away game.
So yeah, a huge shout out to Georgia Tech. I'm very happy, especially because I predicted Georgia Tech to make the playoffs. I did not predict them to beat Clemson.
They beat them by 2 touchdowns, right?
No, they beat them by 3.
They did what?
By 3 points.
They beat
By
them
three
by they
touchdowns?
walk-off field goal.
Oh,
Oh,
3
three-
points.
Yeah,
Oh,
walk-off field goal.
I
It
know
was a
they
walk-off
they were
field goal.
they were beating them. They were beating them for a minute. Like it was a
Yeah,
They had
and
a
then the
lead on
coach.
them
Clemson
for-
was
for a
up,
while.
and then Georgia Tech said, we're gonna
Yeah,
figure it out.
but yeah, Georgia Tech was up, and then they did the thing that a lot of teams do when they play your Clemson, Georgias, Bama's, Ohio States. They get conservative, and
They
they
get
always
nervous,
let them come back.
conservative and nervous.
And
Mhm.
I do have to say this because this is important to me. Georgia Tech, you got lucky. And a game that you always should have won
excuse me.
from the way the game started, you always should have won. And you won in a lucky way. And yes, I will give you credit for being a disciplined team and for practicing a fire drill. For those of you who don't know what that is, a fire drill is when your kicking unit runs out on the field with no timeouts and they have to kick. So however many seconds are
Mhm.
left, they sprint out there, they line up, and they kick the ball.
That's actually a great example of good coaching.
But it's
right there, is
also-
that they were prepared and ready to go.
Yes, but it's also
That was one of the last things they practiced.
yes, but it's also bad coaching
all the time.
because they didn't need to do a
That
fire
too.
drill. He called a timeout
Yeah.
at a time that he didn't need to do it. So he had like 30 seconds left. He
Mm.
called, and he has 30 seconds left. It's 3rd down. Instead of just running a play on 3rd down and then calling a timeout to kick, he calls a timeout before 3rd down, runs a play that gets stopped. It goes nowhere. And then he runs a fire drill. If you
Man,
just flip it like you're
man.
supposed to, you can put 2 calls in the huddle. You're only going to run the ball anyway. You line up, you have 30 seconds, you run the ball, and then you call that timeout. He called it first, and he said, and yes, you practiced a fire drill, but it was also a 55-yard field goal. So, like, kudos, it worked out, but that's bad process to do a fire drill on a 55-yard field goal when
55
you
yard.
don't have to.
Yeah.
You had a timeout, and you just
Yeah.
used it poorly. And if that game goes to overtime, they lose. And it's similar to Georgia last year where he made some questionable calls. That game goes to overtime and they lose. It's the exact same thing that happened to Tennessee today, which we can, unless you have
Today.
anything else to say, we can just, Saturday, we can just transition into that. Tennessee made a questionable call. It went to overtime. They lost. Tennessee was up on Alabama. They were up 5. They got the ball. They got the ball in plus territory.
Georgia.
For those of you who don't, Georgia. They got the ball in plus territory, meaning on Georgia's side of the field. And they run 3 running plays in a row and settle for a 50-yard field goal. Where
There was also a penalty.
no, not on that play, not that time.
The last play before overtime?
No, I'm not.
The last drive before overtime?
I'm not talking about that drive.
Sorry. Go
So
ahead.
there were like 11 or so minutes left in the 4th quarter. They stop. They
Yes.
score a touchdown. They go up 5. They get a stop. They get the ball back and really good field position. And instead of trying to score, which would have put them up 12, they run 3 plays in a row up the middle, get stopped, and kick a 51-yard field goal. They make the field goal, but that makes it 8 instead of. And so the thing is, the whole game, Georgia's secondary has been Swiss cheese. They don't throw the ball at all. They don't do any of the things that worked for them.
No, it was.
They don't
Tennessee was cooking.
And so
they were Georgia's secondary wasn't even there.
And
it's
literally just like, if you score a touchdown there, the game's over. But even if you don't score a touchdown, even if you run 3 more minutes off the clock and then you kick a field goal, that's 3 less minutes that Georgia has. That's more pressure on them.
Mm-hmm.
You run 3 plays, take like 40 seconds off the clock, kick a long field goal, and then Georgia immediately goes down and tie it. And it's almost just feels like karma, because then you drive down again and you go to kick a shorter field goal and you miss it. And it's just, why would you not be aggressive there? Why would you not? The touchdown puts you up 12. Like, I don't understand.
You were aggressive all game, and your
except for that one moment where,
and in that one moment you decide not to be.
And I literally tweeted it as it happened. I said,
as well.
Yeah. I tweeted it as it happened. I said, I feel like they're going to regret, because like I tweeted something. I was like, you settle for a 50-yard field goal to check notes, go up by 8, which is, it's a 1-score game. Like it just didn't make any sense to me. Like, kudos to Tennessee for being in the fight. I know a lot of Tennessee fans are happy because Nico Iamaleava left them to go to UCLA. Nico's having an awful season. Joey Aguilar comes from UCLA and is balling. Like he's
doing great.
He was throwing some dimes. Like it was a really good game, but it's just like, you lost a game that you didn't. Just these fucking coaches need to play Madden. Like, they need to play Madden. They need to play college. They need to learn how to call plays. Like, they need to learn situational football. You get so many millions of dollars and you don't know when to be aggressive. You don't know when to and the thing, like, as an Ohio State fan, I know it because it happens to us. Ohio State, Georgia, Bama, these teams, they win these games they shouldn't because they never stop fighting, and you don't know when to cut their throat. You don't know when to step on their head. And it's like, Georgia never takes their foot off the gas, even if they're playing nobody. Bama, when they're up, they don't stop. Ohio State, they don't settle. And so it's like, and you don't need to be a good team to do that. Honestly, when you're the bad team, you need to be more aggressive. And so it's just frustrating because you watch these games and it's like, Georgia's not invincible. Georgia should have lost that game. And it's solely on the coach. He let those players down. He did not trust them when it mattered most after they did all they could to get there.
That's what I was just about to say. It's a trust problem.
I fucking can't stand it. And then everyone's going to blame the kicker for missing that 40-yard field goal. And that does suck that he missed, but he shouldn't have been in that position. It wouldn't have mattered if you did your fucking job. Like...
And it's funny, too, because I had a coworker ask me, he was like, does Tennessee keep it close? I was like, Tennessee might win this game. What are you talking about? I was like, Georgia's not that good.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, y'all are going off of the past. You're going off the name. Georgia, I was like, there's no team in the country right now that's a world beater, including your favorite. I was like, there's not a single one right now. They might win this game, and they had the lead. They had the lead for a good amount of that game.
Mm-hmm. Well, Georgia, they scored 21 points in the first quarter, right? Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
Georgia only scored 1 touchdown in the first quarter. The problem is then Tennessee allowed them to score 20 unanswered points in the second and third quarter. That's how they even ended up in this situation, because Tennessee came out like, bitch, it's over for you hoes. Yes, I'm going to give y'all the girly colloquialisms. But anyways, yeah, it came down to Jordan's point, it was a trust problem, because you could say all day, oh, you could be super aggressive, try to go for the touchdown, that's such a big risk, whatever, blah, 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 anything could happen. But like, I guarantee you, if you would have put that unit out there, maybe not guarantee, but if you would have put that unit out there, they would have scored a touchdown. It would have been scary, but they would have scored a touchdout. So that's
they probably would have scored a touchdown, because like the Georgia might have would have folded. Georgia was already kind of like.
And if you go up,
not already, and it's a backbreaker. That is a confidence breaker. Especially if I keep getting first downs and keep moving down the field.
They were moving the ball. Yeah. I mean, literally, what's his name? Joey Aguilar. He threw for 371 yards, 4 touchdowns. He ran for a touchdown himself. Like, they were moving the ball.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. And Chris Brazil, is that his last name? Brazil.
Oof, balling.
72 yards, 14 yards, 66 yards. Braylon Staley had a 32-yard touchdown. I mean, this is a unit that you could have put out there and said, go score. This is not
And
like they were
from-
stinking it up the whole time and now we need to be conservative. This was a
Yeah.
unit that could have scored in that moment.
And you weren't good at, you didn't run the ball well. Like that's not what you did.
Not at all. Not at any point.
And for you, and then literally anytime you needed something, you threw it up, and they were just naked. They were open. If you could block
They
for
were
the
catching the
quarterback,
ball.
They're open.
if you were blocked for the quarterback, they were open and they were catching. And if you go up 12, so again, to the point, right? You score 21 points, Georgia's down. Georgia fights all the way back, and it's Georgia. They think they now have the game won. If you score, you go up 5, you get a stop, and then you immediately score a touchdown again, you're up 12. Think about the mindset of those Georgia players. They're gonna say like, this team shouldn't be able to do that.
You could go up 13.
You could go, yeah. If you go for 2, you go up
moment.
13. That is like anyone who plays the video game sometimes is annoying, but like the momentum and like it's in the game because it's real.
It matters.
It's 18-year-olds.
Yeah.
Like you do a couple of things and it's like, oh wait, this whole game changed. Now they believe. You start to doubt yourself, and it's just like you give Georgia confidence because you run the ball 3 times, they stop you, and then they immediately go down, score, and get 8 points, and now Georgia's like, we're going to win this game. And they did. And so
And they did. I will say another thing to note for Tennessee is that they had 10 penalties for 82 yards.
Also didn't help.
And Georgia only had 5 for 39. So giving up 82 yards in a game in penalties is just not...
And
that is not
the
winning
kid
football.
Still put up 41 points.
To still put up 41 is
Which is
fair,
why-
but 82, you lost 82 yards.
And the kick
Yeah.
was still makeable, but the false start on the field goal is not ideal.
Was not
Like,
that
it
not
was
great.
still
When I saw
only-
that penalty, I already
yeah.
knew it was over.
And then to the last
You
point
never
on
wanna
Georgia,
restart your kicker.
they're a good team, but they're not, like Dante said, no one's a world beater. Tennessee, like we do this thing, especially with the SEC, where it's like when these games happen, the idea is that both teams are great. And we forget that in college football,
Yeah.
that bad teams can play really good games. And I don't mean bad relative to like
Any given-
Purdue.
No, I know what you
bad,
mean, yeah.
But these aren't national championship
now why
contenders.
is Purdue
So
in
like
it?
we're like literally, I saw someone
I think they
do it.
got Molly
Yeah, I saw-
last night.
I
That's
saw
why.
someone do a top 10, and they put Georgia number 1 because they beat Tennessee. And I was like, what are you talking about? So
Top 10 out of
yes.
everybody?
And it's just like,
Okay.
Georgia allowed 1 million points, and their secondary was Swiss cheese. I could have played for Georgia's secondary because that's what it
You
would have
and the
looked like
Swiss
if I
cheese.
was out there. Like honestly, I was on the couch like, damn, am I playing in this game? Because I would have got burnt that bad. Like, what are we doing? So it's crazy.
Child.
There was moments in that Northwestern Oregon game, because I know that's not on here, that I had the exact same thought on Oregon's defense.
Yes. Northwestern Oregon's not on here, but I literally was just talking to people. I was like, welcome to the Big Ten. I think Oregon's always going to win this game, but having to play Northwestern in Northwestern at 9:00 your time, welcome to hell. Like Northwestern does that to Ohio State all the time. Like,
I
Ohio
think they had 200. They had almost 200 rushing
yeah,
yards.
like, and
they was throwing the
welcome
ball.
to
There was
hell.
just drops.
literally
by
there was
Northwestern
a
where
bunch
it
of like Oregon's stats were bad, especially passing. Like one time he was like 7 for 9 for 36 yards. Like they were only getting like short yardage. They like nobody was open. It's like, yeah, they were always going to win this game, but playing Northwestern at Northwestern is hell. Like it's just never fun. It's never fun.
Well, speaking of hell, this next game had me in hell, and that is the Backyard Brawl.
Yes. This is on.
I was in hell watching this
I know
game.
it. I know it's hard
I
to
did
keep
not
track of
see
because
this
I have
game.
too many degrees. But I am a proud. I know people be looking at my Twitter like, "What the fuck? Why is he rooting for Ohio State?" West
82 teams.
Virginia, fucking Ohio,
And Rutgers.
Kent, like what is going on? Like, how is he a
Penn
West Virginia
State.
fan? Like, yes, I am a proud Mountaineer, and we
It is
Lord
wild
Jesus.
to see 3 Ohio teams, and then he goes West
Yeah,
Virginia.
you know,
Like, how did we get
you
here?
know, but West Virginia
man.
comes back to beat Pitt. This game was really fun in the beginning. It looked like West Virginia was going to dominate them. Pitt could not do anything. And then Eli Holston, one of the quarterbacks that Alabama ran away, got on fire, started making some plays.
One of the white quarterbacks, to be clear.
Pittsburgh
Right, that
comes
is
back.
it.
They take the lead. I look up. I like, man, West Virginia's going to lose. That's unfortunate. I start watching the Ohio State game. I look up, and we won in overtime. So I did not get to see the whole thing, DJ. Like, what was the fourth quarter like? Like, how did we come back? But go, you know.
Oh my goodness. The fourth quarter was something. That's all I can say is that the fourth quarter was something. I will say I was also low-key locked into A&M and Notre Dame at this
So
point.
you didn't see the full of it?
So I didn't fully see it. Like, it was on my TV, but I was 100% watching A&M and Notre Dame at this point. So I don't know if you saw the end of it, Dante, Pitt in West Virginia, because I also thought
I
that
didn't
Pitt
even
was
know
going to
they
win
was
that game.
playing it. I
Damn! He said, I didn't even know the backyard was brawling.
I didn't even see that game.
Yeah.
I think
But I'm looking at the
was
play-by-play.
watching Ohio State in Ohio.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the
and
play-by-play,
somebody
and it
else
looks
was
like
playing.
well, they did go to overtime. You
Yes.
knew that, right? So it did go to overtime. So in the fourth quarter, Pitt scored a field goal. Then they got a touchdown. Then West Virginia also had a field goal and a touchdown. And then once they got to overtime, they got West Virginia had an 8-play, 25-yard drive, and they won. They got the touchdown on a 1-yard run.
I just think
So-
I just want to say, like, it's a huge shout out to West Virginia because in the fourth quarter, as you're saying, let's see when it ends. Okay, so with 9 minutes and 23 seconds left, Pitt goes up 24-14. And with 9 minutes left, that you think the game is over. And 9 minutes of game time, they had a 12-play field goal drive and a 13-play touchdown drive. And so essentially, as you just went through, they scored on their last 3 drives, field goal,
2 possessions.
touchdown,
3.
and then a touchdown in overtime, and they won the game.
Period. And that's just how you win a football game,
Yes.
ladies and gentlemen. But yeah, it was fun to watch in the sense that, like, well, first of all, West Virginia kind of,
We're not a great team this
you
year.
know how I feel about missed field goals.
Yeah.
Y'all wouldn't even made it
that's
to overtime
college.
if it wasn't for.
That's college. Missed
I
field
hate
goals.
a missed field goal.
And
I don't give
honestly,
a fuck that it's college. You are
that's
only
football
kicking.
now. That's
It
football
is.
now.
That is true. It is. What professional team was it that missed like 2 or 3 this
I think
past
it was,
weekend? This
I
past
think it was
week?
the Bears because they
Was it the
there
Bears?
was a couple, but the Bears
have been.
definitely just demoted their kicker.
But because what the hell? We pay you too
And
much
I think
money.
San Francisco just got rid of a kicker.
I think so too. It's been a couple of kickers that have been on the hot. Because what the hell are you doing? Respectfully, you are the most specialized position in
Thank
football.
God. For Chris Boswell.
Hey, boy, y'all got a kicker for sure. 60 yards,
Hey.
man.
Well, listen, I'm a Cowboys fan, and that's the one thing that I will always stand behind is our choice in kickers. Okay, like I'm just not used to this. This nigga can kick from 70 yards. I don't know what kind of poverty kickers y'all got over there because over here,
Man.
I have a poverty kicker on both of my teams because Ryan Day
I'm
doesn't
pretty
recruit
sure-
kickers to save his fucking life.
I'm pretty sure the Steelers got the best kicker in the game right now.
Yeah.
and then I'm also mad at the SMU kicker. So
You know,
yeah,
but-
because he lost that game for us.
Jesus. Okay, so I'm going to skip a game really quickly because we don't need to talk about it. I just want to say that it happened. Uh-oh.
Great. Which game did we talk
Tulane,
about?
No, we're fine. I just had to do it.
Tulane
Oh,
beats Duke,
yeah.
and I just want to put this
Yes,
on
they
here
did.
just because
Dante is surprised.
we
Tulane did beat
they beat
Duke.
them
I didn't watch
34
it,
to
but-
27. Tulane, and the thing with Tulane has
That's a
Tulane has a really good coach, but everyone was like they're
They
not
do.
going to be good because their quarterback transferred. And where did he transfer? Drum roll, please. Duke.
Wait.
Oh, sorry. I was trying to speed
was
through
gonna
it so we
answer
could
the
talk about
question.
the
Go
game.
ahead. No,
Yeah.
you're doing great.
So,
Yes.
in the Darian Invincible, Tulane comes out on top. Everyone not on this show, because the 3 of us were right about this, thought that Boise State was going to make the playoffs again. And we were like, how? Ashton Genty's not there. We watched,
Who?
what team did you
That
watch? Like when Ashton
that whole
Genty,
team
Ashton
was just
Genty
him.
was the team.
Literally.
I don't know what the fuck we are having a conversation. Like, no tea, no shade. Boise
Yeah.
State loved up for y'all. Ashton Genty was the team. Speaking of which, he got his first NFL touchdown last Sunday.
Love that.
Love that for him.
So
But
yeah,
anyways.
Tulane is good. Tulane is the team that I predicted to make the playoffs. I feel really good about that. They upset Duke. So now to the 2 big games to wrap up the
I
power
will
suite.
say-
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. Well, I was just going to say that the quarterback for Tulane is also pretty good as well. Even though, like, yes, there was a transfer, all that other stuff. Like,
Who is their
he was
quarterback
pretty
now?
good. I don't feel like you said that. His name is Jake Retzlaff.
Oh, hold on.
He rushed for 4 touchdowns. Rushed for
Damn.
4 touchdowns.
Damn.
He had scoring runs of 19
Yeah,
yards and
but
6
no.
yards in the
We
first
don't care
quarter,
about him.
20
He's a
yards in the
rapist.
second
We don't care
quarter,
about
and
him.
11 yards in the. Oh, he's a rapist. I don't give a
Yeah.
fuck about anything that he did.
Yeah.
Actually, he sucks.
Yeah, I knew it. This is the for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about. This is the quarterback who got kicked off of BYU's team because he got charged with sexual
His
assault.
name now.
Yes,
That's why I know his
yes.
name.
He got-
That's why I know his name. I was like, like,
Yeah.
okay.
I hate that name.
And
I was
yes.
like, I know that name, but I don't know it for football.
Right.
That's
Yeah,
why I know
yeah.
that name.
And everybody was like,
fuck him and fuck his good performance. Actually, fuck Tulane
well,
entirely.
not all of
Sorry.
Tulane. Damn.
All of them.
Okay.
The whole school. Well, we beat them in our last conference championship. So
Hey.
it really is
Yeah.
fuck Tulane.
Yeah, for those of
Sorry.
you who don't know, he got accused of sexual assault, and everyone,
Yes,
and then
I remember,
because
yes.
at BYU you're not allowed to have premarital
They
sex.
were soaking.
He got kicked off the team.
Kicked out.
Sorry.
He didn't get kicked off the team for
Yeah.
sexual assault. He got kicked off the team because he admitted he's had sex before.
Oh well, yeah. They're really strict up there.
Yes.
BYU, it is strict than a bitch over there.
Yes.
I'm watching the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, and a couple of them went to. This is relevant, I promise. A couple of them went to those big Utah schools, BYU, Utah. What's the other one? The Holy War. What's the other one? Is that BYU in Utah? No.
Yes.
Is it? There's another one. There's another Mormon school that I cannot think of right now. But
BYU.
they went there, and like one of the.
Wait.
No, he
I
said
said I'm thinking of another one. Maybe it is BYU, but one of the girls on the show, like her grandfather is like Brigham Young or whoever, and like all this other stuff. And there was like a rumor apparently that one of the girls was like a party girl at the school, and she was like, "Oh my God, like I could get excommunicated from the church if people think that like I did all this stuff in college." And I was like, "That is crazy that y'all are worried about that at 18 and 19 years old." Like,
Also,
that's crazy.
it's
That's
called the
crazy.
Holy War because Utah is not super Mormon.
Oh,
Like the school.
crying.
The school.
Well,
like
okay. What?
No. Well,
That's
it's
hilarious.
called so because BYU is Mormon
Yes.
and they're super strict. They're both in the state of Utah. They're in the state of Utah, so they're Christian, of course, but
Beat them heathens.
but they're more like Christian, not Mormon. So the Holy
they're more
War.
of like a regular
Yeah.
university.
I understood. I just think that's whatever. Anyways,
And they tried to change
point
the
is-
name and stop calling it the Holy War, and college football was like, no. like,
no,
No.
that's the Holy War.
Like
Sorry.
I actually
That's
do,
the name of it.
I do
It's
think
too
it has an
late.
official name. That's not the Holy War anymore, and
We don't
and
give
everyone's
a fuck.
like,
It's the Holy War.
what do you? No,
It's like with Tyrese Halliburton when they was trying to give him his nickname, and everybody in real life was like, no, the Halle
What was the
Band.
nickname? I don't even know what it was.
Exactly,
It
exactly.
was bad. It was bad. They tried to call him.
It was bad.
Like the media
was-
tried
it was-
to give it to him.
Like the media,
Yeah,
it was
because
like
they-
some like it was like something that dealt with being clutch or something
Yeah.
like that. I forgot what the
It
name
was bad.
But
No,
everybody was
media
like, no,
nicknames are
we,
never
we
good.
named him.
Yeah.
The culture has named
the
him.
Haliban. Like,
NBA community has named him. He is the,
The
Halle Band.
Haliban. Now the Haliban is.
yeah, and they tried to do like the
Unfortunate.
clutch or the moment.
Something.
The
It was
moment.
something.
It was the moment.
moment.
That shit was gross.
I heard that. Okay.
It was foul.
No,
And
we're not gonna
you know
call
what's
him
crazy?
that.
That's not even a bad
But it's not-
name.
It's a great
just too
name.
Yeah,
late.
it's
It's
too
too
late.
late.
It's not.
Yeah.
Speaking
Okay.
of moments,
to wrap
I really
up,
hope he's
to,
doing okay.
to wrap up the power sweep, we have Texas A&M beating Notre Dame, and first of all,
Notre Dame.
we had two. Just as college football watchers, we had
Mm-hmm.
two like classic games with
Bangers.
really three with with Georgia, Tennessee, and then we get
Mm-hmm.
Texas A&M, Notre Dame. Obviously, WU Pitt was a good game. Clemson, Georgia Tech. Like there was a lot of really good games, but Texas A&M beats Notre Dame 41-40. LSU
my
beats
gosh.
Florida 20-10. Let's do LSU Florida first because the game wasn't as good, but it was still a good game.
I was bored. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. So
I'm not gonna lie. I was
really-
bored. At one point, I was
Yeah.
doing other stuff.
So I really have
I didn't
one
even
thing to
catch
say
that
about
game.
this game. I really have one thing to say about this game. I thought LSU was going to be good. Florida threw 5 interceptions and LSU only scored 20 points. Like Florida still could have won
Okay.
this
What?
game despite
wasn't-
throwing 5 interceptions.
Five
So-
turnovers, and you didn't. Yeah, I
didn't even peep that. I
knew
didn't even,
LSU
like,
wasn't-
absorb
I knew
that.
LSU wasn't going to be that good.
I
said
thought
that.
that
I was, they're
I
not
thought they
gonna
were
be
going to
that
make the
good.
playoffs. So
They
I didn't even
might.
think
They
about
might,
that.
'cause
That
I
is so true.
yeah.
Like I just was like, damn, y'all got intercepted 5
But
times.
I thought
Ew,
Florida. I thought
boo.
Florida was going to win this game.
No, I didn't think Florida was gonna win the game. I ain't gonna lie
And-
to you, but that is so fair. I'm like rethinking all of my thoughts about LSU now because I was like, wait, y'all did intercept that young man 5 times.
You can't
Yeah.
capitalize off of turnovers and
5
mistakes.
interceptions.
5 of them at that.
5
That's only
interceptions.
That's
20
crazy.
points. That's literally a touchdown and what was that?
That's
two
two
touchdowns.
That's
touchdowns.
2 touchdowns, 2 field goals.
Not
yeah.
even. Yeah, because they scored. They scored 13 in the second and 7 in the third, and then neither team scored in the fourth.
You're technically capitalizing off of each turnover besides one, but 2 of them are field goals.
Yeah,
That's just
much.
That's not enough.
Yeah.
For me to be considering you being dominant.
Like if someone throws the ball, if you intercept someone 5 times, you should beat them like 40-7. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that's embarrassing a little bit. So
DJ Lagway has got to get it together. That's the only thing that I can say about that.
I didn't see the game, but to hear that is
you missed
crazy.
nothing. It was very boring.
Yeah.
It was very even with all of the interceptions, I was still bored. I was like, yay! And then Brian Kelly got trucked at some point. That was funny, but
damn.
Yeah, I don't remember what happened. But he got completely knocked over, so that was fun to watch. But I was bored. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I was bored.
Yeah. So a game that was not boring, Texas A&M and Notre Dame. I predicted A&M to win this game. Didn't think it was going to happen like this. And honestly, only reason I predict, and I don't even want to say that like, I think A&M is going to be good. I don't think they're going to be good. I hate to root against a fellow brother, but Marcus Freeman is not good in September games. And so I just had a feeling he was going to lose. Like he is such a good coach.
They do struggle out.
They struggle, and having those 2 games back to back in September, I was a little concerned for him. It was a great game. 41-40. The thing that's sort of crazy about it though is the game doesn't go to overtime because Texas A&M fumbles. Like they were I think they fumbled the snap on an extra point, so then they tried to like score a 2-point conversion. I don't remember if it was intentionally a trick play or if it was just a fumble snap, but either way they fail to get the extra point, so they only go up 6 40-34 with 2 minutes and 53 seconds left instead of being up 7. And then chaos ensued for those of you who didn't watch the game, because they go up 6, 2 minutes 53 seconds left. You think the game is over. Texas A&M immediately takes the kickoff to the house. And you think they score a touchdown. You think, and my thing was like, ooh, you kind of don't want to do that though, because now Notre Dame's going to get the ball back with a chance to win.
They have time.
But it ended up not mattering. There was a hold. It got called back. And so then I thought Notre Dame won, because it takes, and I do want to give credit to Texas A&M and Mike Elko for this, because we talk about momentum and 18 to 22-year-olds. That team thought they had a touchdown to win the game. It got called back, and they still drove down the field and won. Like, he kept them in the game and locked them in. And I'm not an A&M fan, but to me, that is really cool. Like, when I think about the players and I think about good coaching, to be able to tell your players, like, yes, I know you thought we scored here, and we didn't, but we still need to go win the game. And then you go down, you do everything that you need to do, and then it's 4th and goal from the 12. Either you get it or you don't, and you get a touchdown on the last play of the game to win the game. That is like, that's college football to me. Like that's beautiful. That was really fun.
Yeah.
And now y'all see why I did not manage to see the end of the LSU Florida game, because I was watching this. This was so entertaining. I was watching it on my iPad. I was like this. I was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. Like, I was like, this is amazing. I also will say I was entertained pretty much the entire time, because the energy of Notre Dame and Texas A&M, like, as teams, like, I just love the vibes that they bring to the field. So when I saw that they were playing each other, which I think is fairly early in the season for them to be playing each other, it feels early.
I mean, we've had there's been a few teams that have had some games that you're like, damn, that's happening kind of early.
That's kind of like, this would be even more fun if it was like week 6. You know what I mean? But I was entertained the entire time. And if it was and nobody missed a field goal, which I was very excited about, because don't piss me off. But
if it was week 6, I think Notre Dame would have won. But Marcus Freeman struggles in September. Just he does.
Marcus Freeman struggles in September is insane.
No,
here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. That's the best time to struggle.
But not
if you're going to struggle
but
in
not
September.
this year, because now
not when you're a national championship.
Because now they're 0-2.
Wow, I'm getting attacked. That's not what I meant.
No. But the thing is, in general, you're right. But the problem with Notre
but there's
Dame,
certain schools that can't
the
do
problem
that
with
now.
Notre Dame
Yeah,
is they're
yeah.
not in a conference. So, like for example, Clemson has 2
Yes,
losses,
I know.
but if
Yes.
Clemson wins the ACC, they still get in because Notre Dame doesn't.
Yeah.
Notre Dame doesn't have a good,
They
tough.
don't have really room for
Yeah,
stuff
and because
like
they don't
that.
have a tough schedule this year, they might not even get in at 10-2 because they lost their only 2 good games.
And
Yeah,
that's what I was
they're-
just about to say because I'm looking at the rest of their schedule. They've already lost 2 games. They've got Purdue, Arkansas, Boise State, NC State, USC, Boston College, Navy, Pitt, Syracuse, and then they end the season at Stanford. So they should
USC and
technically
Boston
win
College
out.
is their own. USC and Boston College are going to have to be their saving grace for their season, and
Yeah.
it's probably going to be mostly Boston College because I don't think USC is going to have a good
Gonna be
enough
that
record
good.
for it to matter.
Oh, yeah. So they're going to have to win out at this point, and even with
'Cause-
them winning out to Jordan's point because they're
Because
not
by
in
the
a conference.
time, I think
we just gonna have to
Purdue's
see if
0-3
they even-
right now.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, though. If the threshold is 10-2,
It has to be a good 10-2.
it has to be a good 10-2, and I feel like that's the problem.
And it's
with
not a
Notre
good
Dame now.
10-2.
It's gonna be a good-
And
not a good
it also
10-2.
puts them in a position where they just can't lose a game at all. And
Exactly.
that's a tough
they
place
have
to
win
be.
out now.
Well, I will say I left Notre Dame out of my playoff
And you
contention.
you
So
may be
this
right.
would be fantastic for my brand.
You may. I think I said it on the show. Like, watch you luck up and end up being right because it wasn't even intentional. You just forgot about him.
So unintentional.
That's funny. It's
But
'cause
here's
they're
the
not in
thing,
the
and this is
conference.
not
It's
my
easy
fault.
to forget
It
about
is.
them.
I am a new college football person, okay? So this is not my fault that I was thinking about.
No.
Listen, I was thinking about it from a conference standpoint, which is how I ended up forgetting
Yeah.
Notre Dame because we spoke
I
about all the
promise you.
conferences, and then I was like, "Oh shit, Notre Dame, where did she go?" Because we didn't actually like preview her.
I'm trying
So-
to tell you, it ain't got nothing to do with you being new. I forget about Notre
Yeah.
Dame all the time.
I
All
was
the
like,
time.
"Damn, sorry."
Yeah, no, it has nothing to do with that.
No.
Because they're not in a conference, they're easy
Yes.
to forget about.
Yeah.
Speaking
But they're
of,
not a forgettable
we
team.
didn't preview
but
Notre Dame this year because I forgot
We
to
did
put
not.
them in one of the conference previews because they're not in the conference. We were
Which is how we got here. Because I follow Jordan's lead on that, y'all. I am not a Big 10,
I'm trying to
12
tell you,
SEC,
they're hard.
expert. I'm not.
They gotta join the Big
Please.
Ten on the SEC.
That is the
at some
first
point.
thing I
They
do in
got
the
to.
video game. I put them in the Big Ten every year. Like it's just like the first.
Feels like conference
Yeah.
Gotta
realignment,
join.
Big 10.
Okay,
I'm crying. Anyway, Notre
'Cause at
Dame.
least in the Big Ten with a shitty schedule, or at least an easy schedule, you can have a
Yeah.
case. You can have a case.
but also the schedule would be better than what they have now because like they're playing basically the worst teams in all the conferences. Like they're getting Purdue, which is the worst team in the Big Ten. They're getting like I think
Mhm.
BC is going to be better than people think, but they're not amazing. Syracuse is going to be one of the worst teams in the ACC. Like USC is not going to be amazing, so that's not a great win. So they may. It depends on what happens, right? If the SEC does the whole 9-3 thing again, maybe they still get in, but it's just going to be tougher, and they have to be perfect.
And the thing is, luckily, their schedule allows them to be. They could be perfect easily to finish.
They
out
could
this
be,
year.
but then when you start getting into the strength of schedule conversations, that's when
That's what
Yeah.
that's
they're
the
gonna
problem.
probably get
Because I think
dropped
their only big test now for the
Already
rest
happened.
of the season. Yeah,
They
but
already
like for the
happened.
rest of the season is USC and Boston College. Those are the
And
Yeah.
you just have to
the last
hope
two
and
teams
pray
you got.
that one or both of them is good and that you beat them. So
exactly because now you have to depend on factors that are outside of their personal control as
yeah,
Notre Dame. So I don't know, man. I might have been wrong, but I could have been right. I don't
Hey.
know. We're gonna have to
Hey.
see.
There's a good
Speaking
chance
of
they
people
don't.
being wrong and not right at
Mm.
all, the 2-minute
yes,
drill.
2-minute drill. This is going to be.
My segues, I am on point with segues. today.
So in our 2-minute drill, I just wanted to take a quick look at some of the most overhyped quarterbacks in the sport. We will continue to talk about this at a later date, so I won't stick on this right now. But for those of you who do not have The Athletic, they do this thing called QB tiers. And it started in the NFL, and in the NFL, it's really good. It makes a lot of sense. One, because there's a lot less starters, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
No, because they keep putting Justin Herbert to
Well,
a guy, but
okay,
I
fair.
mean-
But he's
Well-
big, tall, white with a strong handshake. He's gonna go high.
and Joe Burrow.
He's
But
gonna go
that's,
high.
You know what? That's
Joe Burrow
those
was
two are-
balling last year, though. Like if since Joe Burrow,
Numbers mean nothing to me if you can't win
all
a
right,
game.
fair. But it's
Well,
only about the
okay, so
quarterback. not-
anyway.
you know, I'm not gonna defend this. I'm not gonna defend this. So they try to do it in college,
Right.
but the problem is college is harder, and college football writers are fucking idiots. So These are
Sorry to the
6
Athletic.
They're all fucking stupid. I mean, literally, I just told you one of them put Georgia as the number 1 team in the country after barely beating Tennessee. They're fucking.
Oh, you were talking about athletic
No.
writers.
I'm talking about college football writers as a whole.
Oh, the whole
Yes,
population.
almost
Well,
almost
damn.
all of them
Okay.
are dumb as fuck. Like
Oh,
significantly,
dang, wow.
really bad at their job. It's so crazy. It's just like, man, if I was that bad at my job, I'd get fired. That's all I'm saying.
I'll say this. I think all of the sports journalists are just fundamentally terrible because they're not actual journalists. And that is just where I'm going to leave
Yes.
it. There is no integrity in sports journalism. There is no truth in sports journalism. It is just all who can get the clicks and who can get the people
So
talking.
here's the problem. I think in college football, actually, it's slightly different. I think college football has some good journalists, but they're all in college football because they couldn't get what they wanted. And so none of them know anything about
Yes.
college football. Like, there's a bunch of people in college
The
football
history,
who
yeah,
wanted to work for fucking USA Today and the New York Times and talk about political shit and write about fucking Charlie Kirk and shit. And instead they're writing about fucking Iowa football and they fucking suck. I need to stop. You know what? Yeah. Anyways, so they do QB
yes.
tiers, and in their top 10, they named Cade Klubnik, Clemson, as number 1, Garrett Nussmeier, LSU, at number 2, DJ Lagway, Florida, at number 5, which is hilarious because did we not learn from Anthony Richardson? Drew Aller, Penn State, at number 6, Sam Levitt, Arizona State, at number 7, and Arch Manning at 10. I want to be clear with all of this, especially Arch. I am not necessarily talking about the players, more so the fact that nobody fucking watched them play and thought that they were going to be good when they were never fucking good. Like, people said that Cade Klubnik was the best quarterback in the sport when we've seen. Okay.
That's what they said about the matchup that happened. They were like, oh, yeah, these are going to be the 2 best quarterbacks in all of college. They said it last week when Clemson and LSU played. The 2 best quarterbacks in college football.
Well, yeah, they had them 1 and 2. And it's like,
who?
So
where?
So this is what I want to say. I think about this all the time, and I want people to think about this more often. There has never, and I promise you, never, except Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning was the last one, but he was already rich. I can't think of anyone outside of Peyton Manning. I can't think of and Andrew Luck, but Andrew Luck was also already rich and weird. I can't think of a single quarterback who, after 2 years starting, was going to be the number 1, top 5 pick in the NFL draft that returns to college for a 3rd year. Peyton Manning did it because that's just what the Mannings do, and he was already rich. Andrew Luck did it because Andrew Luck was already rich. And Andrew Luck is just a football's guy. Andrew Luck was getting an architecture degree. He wanted, like, he was like, yes, I play football, but I'm also a literal fucking genius, and he absolutely is a genius. And I went, like, outside of those 2, Lamar Jackson, when he was ready, left. Patrick Mahomes, when he was ready, left. C.J. Stroud didn't come back to win a national championship. Trevor Lawrence left, although we're not super high on him, but he was ready for the league. Justin Fields left. No, there's not a single quarterback who is, and half of them leave early. Anthony Richardson left early. Jordan Love left early. No, not Jordan Love. Who's the other North Dakota State quarterback that got drafted by the 49ers?
Carson Wentz. 49ers.
Whatever the dude's name is, he left early. Trey Lance left early. Like, if you are a good quarterback who the NFL wants to draft, I'm not even going to say
Trey Lance was Anthony Richardson.
Talk about it. He was. But the thesis.
Is he on the Cowboys? I think he's one of our
he's
people.
the backup. You know, since
Stinking
the
it up.
thesis
Stinking
statement
it up.
is, if you are a quarterback who the NFL wants to draft, you go to the draft. So when you have a quarterback like Cade Klubnik, like Drew Aller, who has been a starting quarterback for 2 full seasons, if they do not go to the draft, it's because their feedback was that they weren't good. And then college football writers take that and say, but he's a 3rd-year starter. He's going to be amazing. If he was good, he'd be in the league. Like, it's like straight up, straight down. If you start in college football for 2 years and they want to draft you, you will leave.
You're drafted.
Drew Aller did not come back to Penn State to win a championship. He came back to Penn State because he's going to be a fucking 5th-round pick.
Wow. Okay.
And he wants to win a national championship.
C.J. Stroud wanted to win a national championship. They told him he was going to be number 2, and he fucking left.
There's also that.
So
I don't feel as strongly about this as you
It's
do.
just it's annoying because no one follows the sport and no one talks about the quarterbacks who are actually good. Nobody talked about SMU's quarterback. Nobody talked about Baylor's quarterback. Nobody talked about the fact that Ohio State always has a good quarterback. Nobody talked about quarterbacks that we've seen that no one talked about Francisco Mendoza. Like, there are good quarterbacks in the sport, and they ranked Cade Klubnik.
I think Dante's Moore is playing better than everybody expected.
Yeah, like hey, 2 hands to chest, 1 hand up. My bad. Like, my bad, dog. Like, I didn't think you had it, bro. That's my fault. That's my fault. You like my bad.
I'm watching him play, and I'm like,
yeah.
Damn, he looks pretty good. Like, damn,
but it's just like we've seen Cade Klubnik for multiple years. We've seen Drew Aller for multiple years. We watched Anthony Richardson.
Oh, hell no. Wait a minute. Breaking news, y'all. Hold on. Breaking news. UCLA and Virginia Tech are firing their coaches.
That's
10 minutes ago. Yeah.
10 minutes ago. UCLA has fired Coach Deshaun Foster. He started his second season 0-3. Virginia Tech plans to fire Coach Brent Pry today.
Yes.
He's gone 16 to 20. He's gone 16 to 24 through 4 seasons and started the year 0-3. He's set to be owed more than $6 million.
All right. So we'll finish this conversation another day because we can't be here forever. Let's talk about the coach that got fired. 2 things to say. 1, UCLA.
Jordan's like, and let's
listen,
move on.
UCLA. You never should have hired him. I love when black coaches get to fail upward because he was never head coach material. They only hired him because he was an alum, and now they have to pay him X millions of dollars to not do anything. So shout out to him and his family. I know he's sad about it. I know that hurts.
I was about to say,
I know.
Like this just his second season, and I think that's a problem when it comes to these colleges or any actual team. When it comes to coaching, they don't let people stay there long enough to really establish anything.
Yeah. There's no patience.
The's no patience whatsoever.
And I feel like the patience with black coaches is even lower.
Oh, yeah.
So
the patience with black coaches, because they'll give a white coach 6 seasons to fucking fail.
The only person that's going to get a lot of patience right now is probably going to be Deion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. I agree.
Yeah. But that's also because Deion is who he is.
I
agree.
100%. All I'm going to say is his buyout is $5.27 million, and there's nothing else that he would have done to get $5.27 million. So, yes, it's unfortunate that he got fired. Yes, they fired him early because he was black, but also he was black and he got hired for a job that he should have never been, that he wasn't qualified for.
Yeah.
He wasn't ready.
He failed upward. White men do that all the time. So I'm happy for Deshaun Foster because he just got 5.27 M's plus whatever he got paid before that to do something he was never qualified to do. And
it was clear when he had his opening press conference, like, oh yeah, you're not.
Yeah, I don't remember what he said, but it was dumb as fuck. Like, it was so bad. It was just like,
it was bad. It was bad.
So that's again, and I understand like it sucks for him personally. I know that he's not happy about it, whatever, but he never should have gotten that job. Brent Pry, on the other hand, had done the things to get the job, and he just wasn't good. Like, it's awful. Yeah. He was just really, really bad.
Virginia Tech is booty cheeks, and
they 0-2 or 0-3, and all of them and 2 losses by FCS teams. Like, they got blanked by Old Dominion. I knew he was getting fired.
They got blanked by Old Dominion.
Yeah.
Old Dominion is nuts.
This last game was a close game.
No. This last game. No.
I don't even know.
No. At a certain point in the game, in the first 2 quarters, from last week to this week, they had been outscored 62-0 against 2 FCS opponents.
Oh my God.
And Brent Pry, for those of you who don't know, Brent Pry was a defensive coordinator by trade. He was Penn State's defensive coordinator.
Oh, hell no. Here's the thing, and this may be a hot take. Actually, I don't think this is a hot take. I'm a firm believer that sometimes you're just a career coordinator.
Yes.
Sometimes you don't need to be the head coach.
There's nothing wrong with that.
You don't need to be the head coach.
You can have a Hall of Fame career doing that. There is
being
nothing
a coordinator.
Wrong with that.
You don't need to be a head coach. Not everybody who's a great coordinator ends up being a great head coach. That's not really a path to success. Head coaching, in my opinion, is something that is a skill in and of itself.
Yes.
And it should be like, if you get hired to be a head coach, especially at one of the larger D1 schools, you should have head coaching experience at a smaller market or at a smaller school or in a different conference.
It
It
used
should
to be
not
like
be,
that.
well, you were a
It
really
used
great
to be like
offensive
that.
coordinator at
Mhm.
this huge program. Now
And
you
they
should be
don't-
a head coach. Because being a coordinator and being a head coach is two
And
different
they don't
skill
do that
sets.
anymore.
Because if you have no experience of head coaching, because there's some coordinators that get plucked like that, but they have experience of head coaching
somewhere. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
When you don't
and they
have
become a
none,
coordinator because they have a great mind in a
that's
certain
just because
area.
there's been some coordinators that or some coaches that had no experience and end up succeeding and just skyrocketing and stuff like that. But that's three of them.
But
doesn't happen all the
that's the
time.
thing, right? Like
Yeah.
Ryan Day didn't have he had like 2 or 3 games head coaching experience because Urban Meyer got suspended. But we saw what happened with Ryan Day. He was a good coach.
That's not
right. It doesn't really count. He was a good coach immediately, but he made a lot of mistakes because he was learning how to coach on the job, and it worked out for him. But it took a while, and fans, myself
but it's
included,
also they had patience with him.
Right.
How many years did they give him?
Yes, but the thing with patience is sort of like the administration wasn't as happy as the fans were because he was still winning a lot. So it's like that one's a little weird. But even Marcus Freeman has had a lot of really high highs, but this is his first job and he can't figure out how to win in September. Like, and I think that would be different if he got to coach somewhere else. This is not, and these are 2 of the better examples. Because you have a lot more of the examples like what we're talking about now, where these first-time head coaches fail. But then you have these good coaches at smaller schools, like Toledo's head coach, who's been there forever, keeps winning the MAC. Ohio's head coach, who's been there for a while. They're a good team. Like Northern, like you have these coaches who aren't getting hired for these jobs because it's not sexy anymore. But it's like they know how to be a head coach, and they're doing it where it's harder. It is harder to be a head coach at Toledo than it is to be at Virginia.
Small
Tech.
market.
I believe Toledo's head coach would be good at Virginia Tech. I don't even know if he gets interviewed. Like, I don't, so, yeah.
Yeah. That's just my I guess not hot take. That's my warm, cold coffee take is that you can be a career coordinator and that's
And the money that they pay coordinators right now, just do it.
I mean, I'm sorry, because when I thought I was going to be a football coach for a period of time in my life, I never wanted to be a head coach. I wanted to be a position coach or a coordinator because I was really big on specifically DBs. I loved DBs for some reason. Don't ask me why. It was just what I fixated on. And I was like, I could be a defensive coordinator.
DB is a fun position.
It's a fun position. And I feel like if I did play football, I would be a DB. I felt like body and stature-wise and speed-wise, if I was just a little bit taller, I would have been a DB. But I'm just kind of like, I would have been cool with just being a DB coach or a coordinator. I do not want to be the head coach because also I don't want my head to be on the chopping block every time the team fucks up. So it just, I don't, but yeah, that's, we've already got some coaches firings. That's so funny because at the beginning we were like, we don't have any news because no one's gotten fired.
Boom,
LOL.
it happened. Okay.
Here we go.
So
I didn't think week 3. I didn't think week 3.
Well, I thought the Virginia Tech one might happen just because of how bad Saturday was. I didn't think UCLA would happen.
UCLA said, get out of here. I'm done. But UCLA has not had a good time in football for a while. Am I mistaken?
Not. I mean, Chip was okay, but like.
So that's why I'm like, they're over
really.
it. Yeah. You also, I feel like when it comes to the coaching firings and the lack of patience, I think it also has a lot to do with the historical performance of the teams as well. Because like, if you have a team that's already sort of good and they're just in some down years, I feel like they're going to have more patience than with the team that's like, we've been ass for 10 years and you're coming in and making us assier. No, get out.
Assier.
No, I mean that is true, and I also think you have some things like UCLA hasn't been good for a while, but you also have to think about the fact that Deshaun Foster made the decision to get rid of their starting quarterback for Nico. And so you look at it, you're like, you're losing, you keep losing these games. Joey Aguilar was here last year. He looks amazing. Our team is bad, all this other sort of stuff. So, there will be a lot more firing. Florida's coming soon. Florida will be next week or the week after that.
Yeah.
And we'll use that to transition to our screenplay, the games that you should watch. At noon this weekend, okay, yeah, that's right. So, at noon, you should watch Texas Tech, Utah. This is the beginning of the part of the schedule for the Big 12 where all the big dogs cannibalize each other. You could argue that Texas Tech and Utah have looked like the 2 best teams. There's a chance that they may still play each other in the championship game. the Big 12 championship game, but this is
I think we picked that matchup.
I think we did, yeah.
Actually,
this is a matchup that matters. It's early. These have been two of the better teams in the Big 12, so that is going to be an amazing game. And then SMU TCU. TCU also looks pretty good. SMU looks pretty good, but has had some struggles, but they're still a solid team.
Some stumbles.
And this is your real rivalry, right? Like this is
Yes, this is our real rivalry. This is also allegedly the last time that we will be playing this particular rivalry. I don't know why we're ending 100+ year matchup, but whatever. We both have new ADs, so who knows? But this is allegedly the last time we'll be playing this.
Yeah.
So get into it.
Side note, sorry, I know we moved past this, but I was on Twitter just to kind of see if there was anything to like add to it. The first firing last year wasn't until week 8, which is October 20th.
Yeah, this feels early.
So 5 more weeks. So yeah, we have some firings pretty early. Midday, there's one game that I think is going to be like really good and really informative for two teams, and the other one I just want to see if there's going to be an upset. So we just talked about Tulane. Tulane upset Duke. Tulane is a good team. Ole Miss is not as good as they have been.
We have a full-blown emotional reaction from Dante.
Steelers got an interception. That's
football. Football's on. I knew what he was doing. Football's on. So yeah.
Yes, the WNBA playoffs are also on.
Yeah, so we're going to get out of here so we can watch these games and I can read. Tulane Ole Miss, I put this on here because I hope that there's an upset, and I think it's going to be a good game because Tulane is a pretty good team and they beat Duke. So they show that they can play a little bit. And then Michigan, Nebraska, both teams Nebraska's looked really good through 3 weeks. Michigan has looked up and down. This is they've looked better than what I've
apparently Bryce
expected
is the best quarterback they've ever had in their lives, and he is their Lord and Savior.
There might be some validity to that next year.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
I know. I'm just saying this year they are already.
Yeah, and so this is like Nebraska is a team that like has some goals, right? We talk about third-year Matt Rule. These two teams, I think, are on pretty even playing field. But also, in my opinion, Nebraska should be the better team. They also should have the better quarterback. They have the more time on tasks together. But this is not going to be an easy game.
I need to see what that defense is like against
exactly. So this is a huge game for both of them. And as the season goes on, if either one of them don't reach their goals, based like getting to the I think this could be the reason why. Evening, we have this game in the Big Ten is huge because the loser of this game is most likely not making the college football playoff. And the winner of this game has a really good chance to make the college football playoff based on their schedule. That is Illinois, Indiana. Everyone talks about who's going to be the next Indiana, meaning the team that surprises you and makes the playoff. Indiana says it's going to be Indiana.
It shouldn't be a surprise if either one of these teams get the playoffs.
I would love to agree with that because why is it surprising except for just the brand?
Well,
if we're being honest.
That's really all it is. Yeah.
Because Illinois
that's the only thing that's because everybody just expects all the SEC and the Big Ten teams to always be in the playoffs. And it's like, oh, wow, look at
Illinois
this surprise.
It's a 4-year build. Like, you can see this coming.
It's an incline. So, like, what the fuck are we talking
Illinois,
about?
Indiana is going to be huge. The loser of this game is still going to be good, but the loser is probably going to end up at 9-3 and miss the playoff, where the winner, because of the schedules that both of them have, could be 11-1 or 10-2, and that gets them in the playoff. This is essentially the battle for the Big Ten's 4th playoff spot. So that game is huge. And then Florida Miami's on here for 2 reasons.
Because it'll be entertaining as hell to watch them try to outcoach each other.
See, DJ, that may be one of the best things that you've ever said on this podcast. I've been trying so hard to get DJ into college football, and then the singular second she gets in, she gets it. She's just like, yeah, these two coaches fucking suck. And that's exactly why it's on here. Because if Florida loses, the coach...
To watch a series of unfortunate decisions back to back to see who wins.
Because if Florida loses, their coach probably gets fired, but everyone is on Miami crazy, which means they're probably gonna lose. Remember last year, I said Miami's gonna lose a game they shouldn't.
We're gonna lose to Syracuse.
And Florida, after getting beat and throwing 5 interceptions, beating Miami, like, it just, tell me that's not gonna happen.
It's about to be booty cheek coaching versus ass cheek coaching. And it's going to be so much fun to watch. Like, it's going to be so much fun to watch. Also, just because, like, Florida has just got to bounce back from this. Like, there's just no fucking
'Cause
way.
if they
like,
don't,
if you
the
want to
coach
get
gets
into the
fired.
storylines, exactly. Like, if you want to get into the storylines, Florida has got to bounce back from 5 interceptions. Miami is, quote unquote, on an upward incline, right? Because they haven't lost yet,
They've been
have
like
they?
that for the past 10 years.
Oh, right. Quote, that's what I'm saying. Quote unquote, Miami's doing well. So this is the time where Miami's going to lose a game that they shouldn't. And then, of course, here we go. Now we're in week 10, and we're like, well, damn, had they not lost
This
to
is
Florida,
funny
we
because
might
I
be.
think Miami and Florida are on the same level of talent. So it's like,
Yeah.
this
It's
is
an
the
even
big-
match.
this is an even playing field to even say like this is a game they shouldn't lose.
Yeah, but like Florida's pretty bad right
yeah.
now. They're in a low spot.
I mean,
So,
yeah.
Miami
Yeah,
should.
but,
This is what I would say: the Miami that we know is a 50-50 shot. The Miami
It's
that
very different
people-
from the Miami that the media knows.
that the media knows should win this game by 2 touchdowns. So,
Yeah.
and it's a rivalry.
It's about to go to
game.
overtime.
They'll win by 10.
It's gonna go to
10
overtime.
It'd be
Yeah.
10 points. if
I'm calling it now. It's going to overtime.
Overtime is hilarious.
It's going to
And I
overtime.
think
I'm calling
Florida,
it now.
Florida wins, in my opinion. Florida wins.
And Florida wins on a
Yeah.
field goal.
And then our
Ooh.
after
That's crazy.
On a field goal. Oh God, no. Miami wins.
our after,
I'm just thinking of like the most ridiculous outcome, and that's
Yeah.
it for me.
and then our after
I
dark
think
game.
the most ridiculous outcome is legit Miami winning.
No, that's the
He
most
said.
ridiculous. Like,
That's the expected outcome.
Because it's so expected, it's the most ridiculous outcome.
the most ridiculous
Fair,
outcome
okay.
is Florida winning by like 17 and Carson Beck throwing 4 interceptions. Like, and DJ Lagway just having like he after throwing 5 interceptions, he throws like 4 touchdowns, runs for 1, and just like fucking looks like a machine. Like, that's the most ridiculous outcome, and that is what I'm rooting for.
Nah, you know what's really gonna happen? It's gonna be a special teams blunder.
Lord.
See
It's-
the options
Like,
of why
all
this
of the
game is
all
on
of the things
here.
that could happen. Because the most ridiculous outcome is actually, you're both wrong. The most ridiculous outcome is good
Well-
coaching. like what? Like what?
If we just see a beautifully coached game, they both score 40
Well,
points.
Good
you're like, what the
decisions,
We said-
proper usage of timeouts.
we said ridiculous.
proper
you know.
substitutions, maybe.
We said ridiculous, not
She talking
unrealistic.
about out of this
The
world.
wrong R word. Ridiculous, not unrealistic. They're 2 different things.
Damn it. Wrong
Yeah.
answer for him. My bad.
And then our after dark game is Michigan State USC.
Why are we watching this?
Well, one, if you're up at midnight and you want to watch football, then watch it or go to sleep. But
Big
also,
Ten.
I know I turned off that Minnesota Cal game. I
Yeah,
was
but-
like, I
but
don't like
also,
tonight. I'm not watching
this is
it.
going to be a good game because this is 2 evenly matched teams, and USC.
And Michigan State looks
Yes.
really good, and USC
Yes,
is looking good.
and
so.
again, this is one of those games that because of the schedule, the loser of this could not make a bowl game because their schedule is tough, and
Oh.
so like this is one of those games that you need to win. Also,
And I think Michigan State's schedule is
yeah, and this
tougher.
is a huge win for Michigan State. USC is supposed to win these type of games, even though we know they haven't been good because Lincoln Riley sucks. But like for Michigan State to
Correct.
win this game, this is a huge like step in the right direction
this would be
for
really
their
good for 'em.
rebuild and for who they are with their new coach. So if you're up at midnight and you're watching football, you should watch this game. And
Let me tell you something. This Golden State Valkyries defense is locking Minnesota.
A. And boom. So
Wow.
to wrap
Anyway.
up the game, to wrap up the show, for the uninitiated and Dante, our last 2-minute report is essentially our pit stop. It is the time where we get to talk about something that is unrelated. We all have things to do. This show is running a little long, so I'm not going to have a 2-minute report. I'm going to co-opt. I'm going to co-opt the other DJ's 2-minute report.
No. This is my 2-minute report. Get your own.
No, this is our 2-minute report. And
This is the
yeah.
show.
And the
2-minute
because
report.
the two.
I don't like
Well-
that. But also, we don't have that type of time. You're right. So anyways, the WNBA playoff starts today, ladies and gentlemen. So when you're hearing this, it has already started. You are already behind. If you do not know how the WNBA playoffs works, that is what I am here to explain. I don't know what the fuck Jordan is about to talk about, but I'm just going to explain to you how it works because it is very different from the NBA playoffs. First of all, there's not 100 games. Thank God. It works as such. The first round, which starts today, is the best of 3. The second round, or the semifinals, is best of 5. And then for the first time in WNBA history, we will have a best of 7 for the WNBA finals, which typically was best of 5 previously. Another new thing this year is that in these best of 3 series, usually the team that has home court advantage, which is a higher seed, hosts both game 1 and 2. So if you're in a best-of-3 series, there's a chance that you may not even be able to play one of those games at your home court. They finally deemed that as maybe a little unfair. And so this season is going to be 1-1-1. So the first game gets played at the higher seed's home court. Second game gets played at the lower seed's home court. And if there's a game 3, they go back. That's going to be pretty brutal for some of these teams that are far away from each other, such as Phoenix and New York. And there's only one day between each game. So
that travel's nasty.
That's going to be pretty tough, but that is how it is structured. And then the best of 5 and the best of 7 are 2-2-1 and then 2-2-1-1-1. So that basically means 2 games of one, 2 games of the other, like the NBA. I explain all of that because it's new this year. So just in case you're like, wait, I don't think it worked like that, you are correct. It did not. The teams in the playoffs are as follows. The Minnesota Lynx are number 1. The Las Vegas Aces are number 2. The Atlanta Dream are number 3. The Phoenix Mercury are number 4. The New York Liberty are number 5. The Indiana Fever is number 6, if I'm not mistaken. And then who am I missing? Who's number 7? Seattle Storm is number 8. Who's number 7? Why am I blanking on number 7? Am I insane? Am I okay?
Is it the Valkyries?
No, it's not the Sparks. No, the Valkyries are number 8. The Valkyries are 8. Seattle is 7. That's what my
Okay, so I was right. Yeah.
Seattle Storm and the Valkyries are 8. So we've got some really, really fun matchups starting off today with Golden State and Minnesota is on right now. They're about to go into halftime. And then we'll have Atlanta and Indiana. And then we'll have New York and Phoenix. And then we'll have, wrapping up the evening, Vegas and Seattle. If you don't watch all of those series, you've lost your mind. But if I would suggest one series, I would definitely suggest watching Vegas and Seattle. And that's all.
And that's the show. Thank you for tuning in.
I thought you were going to...
By co-opting by saying we have nothing,
yes.
There you go.
Oh, great. Well, yes. And if you want more updates on the WNBA playoffs and if you want to watch me track my bracket all the way through the series...
She about to plug her Twitch. If we doing that,
follow me on TikTok, actually, was what I was going to say. Follow me on TikTok. It'll be in the description. And if you want to watch the games together, you can also follow me on Twitch. We'll be streaming later on today, which means that you will not know that, but we'll be streaming all of the games. So watch my TikTok. Yeah. And you'll see.
When this episode comes out, I'll be doing the rest of them.
So when this episode comes out, turn on Twitch tonight because I'll be on Twitch tonight too.
And there you have it, folks. Welcome to the new Power 2 podcast where we talk about
it's tied.
The power of knowing your capabilities, which is not having 2 podcasts while in a PhD program. We will see you next week.